Americans should pay more attention to the world. And I'm sure Trudeau would also say editors at Yahoo News should pay more attention to headlines. Anyway, Trudeau says Americans should pay more attention to the world. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canadians would really appreciate it if Americans paid more attention to what is going on around the globe. Quoting him from his 60 Minutes interview, quote, "It might be nice if Americans paid a little more attention to the world. Having a little more of an awareness of what is going on in the rest of the world, I think, is what many Canadians would hope for Americans." I think we sometimes like to think that Americans will pay attention to us from time to time, too, he said. Yes, we pay attention to Canada every time we want some more damn oil. But since since Barack Obama invented fracking, we have no reason to pay any attention to Canada or the rest of the world. We have our own oil. So what does the rest of the world matter to us clueless morons? Fuck the rest of the world. Anyway, okay, what was the second biggest story on planet Earth this morning? Number 2 on the list of top 100 stories on planet Earth from Associated Press: musicians and media figures celebrate Murdoch Hall wedding. Rupert Murdoch, aged 84, and Jerry Hall, aged 59, celebrated their marriage Saturday alongside family members, media executives, and music stars in a church considered the spiritual home of British journalism. I guess among some 100 guests was Rolling Stone member former Rolling Stone member Bill Wyman. I guess not attending Mick Jagger. Hall has 4 children with her ex-partner Mick Jagger, while Murdoch has 6 children from 3 previous marriages. Ain't that sweet? Anyway, moving down the list from the second most important story on the planet, I love this one. I was going to wait till my Wednesday climate change meltdown roundup. I'll have it again. You can figure out why this story is in my clueless moron roundup rant. Revamped satellite data shows no pause in global warming. Climate change doubters may have lost one of their key talking points: a particular satellite temperature data set that had seemed to show no global warming for the past 18 years. The remote sensing system temperature data, promoted by many who reject climate science, and especially most recently by Senator Ted Cruz, now shows a slight warming since 1998. Ground temperature measurements, which many scientists call more accurate, all show warming in the past 18 years. And the change resulted from an adjustment made to fix a nagging discrepancy in the data from these 15 satellites that are coordinating the data better. This is Carl Mears, the scientist who runs the remote sensing system. Quote, "There are people that like to claim there was no warming. They really can't claim that anymore." Let's see. I like this comment from Andrew Dessler, climate scientist at Texas A&M. The study refutes the idea of pausing global warming, he said, quote, "But frankly," I'm sorry, this is University of Georgia meteorology professor Marshall Shepard. The study refutes the idea of a pause in global warming, quote, "But frankly, common sense and looking at how Earth was responding over the past 18 years kind of makes this finding a duh moment." This is another one of these climate scientists. I don't know what Cruz et al. Will do now. I think it will be increasingly difficult for them to claim that the satellite data show no warming. Okay, and so then we go to the comments and take a wild guess, the very first comment to the story before we move on. Fall in line with Osama bin Laden. He wanted everyone to believe in global warming too. Kinda tells you all you need to know right there. Let's see. Explain to me why some of the hottest temperatures were recorded 100 years ago, then it cooled down, then we had the Dust Bowl, then we were heading for an ice age in the 70s. Doom, disaster. That did not happen. Now it's global warming. But guess what? This too shall pass. Blah, blah, blah. And with about 500 more comments from clueless morons. Okay, from there to China, which abandoned its one-child policy last year, and they have now revised their growth trajectory upward as their new population forecast shows China's population to grow by 45 million by 2020. In the next 4 years, China expects its population to rise by 45 million, almost the number of people in Spain, said Saturday, as it confronts a growing demographic crisis in the wake of the one-child policy. Moving along from China, next door, no clueless moron roundup rant would not be complete, and there were many versions of this story. This is Reuters, without going to North Korea, where we see North Korea leader orders military to be ready to use nuclear weapons at any time. North Korean leader Little Maggot ordered his country to be ready to use its nuclear weapons at any time and to turn its military posture to, quote, preemptive attack mode. Preemptive attack mode in the face of growing threats from its enemies, which is pretty much anybody on the planet. North Korea on Thursday launched several missiles off its coast into the sea in an apparent response to new sanctions imposed by the UN this week. There you go. This story will continue. Okay, from North Korea to Florida. Celine Dion slashes asking price of her Florida estate by $30 million ahead of her Las Vegas move. Price has been slashed from $75 million to $45 million. Her 5.5 acre property, where is it? Probably somewhere around West Palm Beach, because she needs to sell her house so she can buy another mansion in Las Vegas. Because she needs to move to Vegas because of her commitment to her Caesars Palace residency. But you will get a lot for your money. Besides the main 10,000 square foot house, the grounds are also home to 2 4-bedroom guest houses, tennis court, a golf range, and people who enjoy a quip dip or a longer swim might be pleased to note that Dion's property has 3 swimming pools, and one even comes with a fire pit in the middle of it, and another of the pools has a water park and a lazy river. Okay, what is Audi Automotive up to? And you'll have to figure out for yourself why this is in my Clueless Moron Roundup rant. Audi to launch 20 new models this year. Audi has made it official that it will launch at least 20 new or revised models in 2016 to strengthen its foothold in the ever-growing luxury market. So we have the Q7, we have the A4, we have the R8, we have the RS. And from their SUV line, we have the Q2 and the Q5. But don't forget the A4, the S4, the A5, and the Q7, and of course the SQ7. And of course, these models, do not expect all of these new models to come to the Indian market. However, at least two of the models are on their way to India to help Audi India put up a stronger fight against Mercedes-Benz India and BMW India. Several stories on this one. This is AP's version. Killer who ate friend's brain is denied parole for the 5th time. If I can get my cursor to work here. An Ohio man who killed his roommate